I'd first learned about the fire a little after 7 in the morning. I collected my cat carriers.
You know, the things that you take, it's kind of odd. The logic escapes you at that time when you're...
But you want to know what my husband, he packs up the freezer contents. He packs up like the ground beef and the steak and his mentality, and
And he says, you know, what are you doing? We've got to get out of here. And I said, I'm trying to find our phone chargers.
Yeah. Of course, they're on the key ring associated with the car keys and the other things, so that's kind of a good indicator.
People flew to their families, they ran to their safeties, but we all had our keys, you know, keys, phone, wallet. It's what we all do.
An 800-pound sculpture of a phoenix crafted from thousands of keys, unveiled at the Butte Resiliency Center in Paradise this morning. Mercer says her year-long project was paved with
Now,
trust.
this sculpture is beautiful. These keys were from homes that did not survive the fire. We're talking about more than 14,000. And then on the
Mercer says there are still reminders all around.
There's so lived on the streets a lot in my youth and stayed at a lot of friends' houses, slept in some dugouts at schools. But when I was 15 years old, my dad said, hey, in 48 hours, I'm gonna jump on our U-Haul and move to Paradise, California. And I said, haha, there's no place called Paradise. Got on the U-Haul with my parents that I, at that time, didn't have the closest relationship with, and rolled up to a sign that says, may Paradise be all its name implies. And at 15, when you're scared and nervous, it was such a welcoming sign. And we ended up here at the Lantern Motel, and this is where I went to high school, and the diner behind us is where I ate my meals at night. They gave me food, they gave me shelter, they gave me school, they gave me, I couldn't have done anything. I couldn't have graduated with a 4.0 in college if I didn't have the support of this town. I would have just shredded up and continued to be a drug addict and fail. Like, it would have been horrible.
What is this like?
Every time I'm around it, I feel like I can just hear people. I can just hear all their stories. I hear holidays with relatives fighting and loving each other all at once. It's like I hear like kids playing in the front yard. I hear that some of these keys were never even used because we all left our doors unlocked. The fire moved at about 60 to 80 miles an hour, and it came over the mountain like a beast. It looked like a beast. And then propane fireworks, because everything's on propane. So it just sounded like bombs going off.
It was about 10 o'clock in the morning, and the power goes out and just plunged us into the most dense blackness I've ever experienced.
Oh dear, there's wind whipping up. 10 o'clock in the morning, not happy with that wind.
When the power went out, I was like, okay, we're in trouble. We didn't hear sirens, fire department, police, nobody was here. We heard nothing. It was just so quiet here, except we could hear the ammunition from people's homes exploding. We could hear
the propane tanks.
Propane tanks exploding. It was just, I still hear it. It was just, I took a short little video of the trees out here on fire, and then I went into our house and
It was time to go.
I received a call about 8:12 in the morning. All I heard was my dad say, I'm running, I'm coming to you. And it was such cryptic words, and my stepmother, we're trying to come. I just remember calling and calling and calling and calling and calling.
Take a look at Apocalypse Now, and when the F-35s drop the napalms on the buildings, you have it. You have walls of sheer flame. There is nothing but sheer flame. There is no sparks, there's sheer flames. And you're 10 feet, and you're watching cars melt. and people rolling on the side of the road and running away from their cars, and cars blowing up because, you know, they can't move. You're in live action PTSD is my best way to describe that to you.
My parents had ended up about 4.5, 5 hours later at my house. My dad had sweatpants that were burnt, and he didn't even have his dentures in his mouth. The realization that they probably just lost their home and their animal was profound. So we just sat and sat and sat, and at that moment, my dad reached into his sweatpants and he threw his keys out. I knew I had to make it. It was almost euphoric.
She's like, I'm gonna build a phoenix.
Right off the wall.
We're like, okay, and how are you gonna do that? I don't know, I'm just gonna do it because it seems like it's the right thing to do.
I couldn't handle that so many people would be holding this residue in their hands and being angry at it. Put out a little flyer on Facebook thinking, wow, social media is either gonna attack me or benefit me. I got them in mail, I got them face to face. People were showing up at my house. I would meet people in tents and distribution centers. I mean, I ended up putting about 19,000 miles on my truck in just 11 months. I remember the first time I got a call for a family of a deceased. I met them in a hotel where they were staying after they had already lost their family. It was just so sad. And they just handed me a picture and they handed me a key and they said, I know that this needs to go with you. And then the responsibility became pretty immense.
I gave her my work key. I gave her the key for our home here.
I actually gave her the house key, and I gave her 2 of my other relatives. I have about 6 in this community.
It's also very emotional when you decide to give that up. It's not just about, okay, here's my keys. You know, that was our home.
I think I'm one of the few people that hasn't given my keys. I'm not ready to take mine off my keyring yet, so I still have mine. And I don't know that I will part with them.
So no, I actually didn't give them to her right away.
It took you some time. It took a while.
Yeah.
Can you talk for a second about what it was like to see that phoenix completed?
I don't even know if I can express what it feels like. It's beautiful. It means a lot.
Yep. A lot of loss. The phoenix is symbolic of rising from, and I understand that logically, but to see all those keys, a lot of loss.
When I saw the phoenix, it was this magnificent sculpture that Jess had put together. And I could see the keys at a distance, and then the closer I got to it, the more emotional I became. And Jess was right there, and she just came and embraced me, and we just stood there next to her beautiful artwork, just holding each other and just crying together. That's what, you know, amazing person she is. She wasn't in the distance, she was right there.
I think for me personally that this piece, From Me to My Town, is overcoming anger. I struggle with anger a lot, and I've never been so mad at something in my life, but I could never change it, and I recognize that. I'll never be able to change or put anybody back together nearly like 1/10 of the way back to whole. I just love this. I love it. Like, I'm in love with it more than like a person. I should check in about that. I've never had anybody trust me like to this level. And they didn't even know me.